You know, I was not a serious student, just didn't practice, didn't prepare myself the way I should have, which is unfortunate. And, you know, high school was the same way, and I've had golden opportunities, and I've just kind of blew them. But I have no regrets in that area. He could get hold of more vehicles. He had an old bucket seat Oldsmobile that had the gas tank in back of the bucket seats, and he would drive around that Alameda with forged licenses, and he tried to make a U-turn there in the corner of Santa Clara and Webster Street, and the wheelbase was too large. It wouldn't make it. It wasn't that flexible. So the policeman came by and helped him move the vehicle over. Here he had a forged license. And then, God, he had motorcycles. He had everything. And however he got this plane, he rented it. And he told his mom, he said, "You get in the backyard with a white sheet, and when I come by, I'll tip my wings or something." And instead of that, he took a dive, and God, his mother just fell flat in the back, just passed out. 38, my first job, and they wanted a music program. I didn't have any piano, and they didn't have any money. It was the Depression. So one of the teachers says, "Well, I have a piano I'll sell for $25, and that's up on Haight, on a hill, and I had to go up steps, and how I ever got that thing down, I don't know. But anyway, we got the piano down. I drove home to Alameda and had dinner with my folks, and maybe I didn't tie it down at all. And anyway, during the course of the trip, that thing moved to the back of the trailer, and it changed the weight and the pressure on the tongue. So when I was going over the Prunedale cutoff, 20 miles in Salinas, it snapped, and that's where it passed me on the highway. Well, I pulled over the side, and I could see it in the mirror. I could see the tongue sticking up like that, so I knew I was in trouble. And I pulled over the side, and the trailer went right down the road. It was a 2-lane road at those times, of Highway 1, Sunday evening. And boy, the first thing I did, I thought, God, there'll be white keys all over the highway. Girl that sold me the piano will see it, and that'd be terrible. And first thing I did, I touched the piano of the A, bung, so it was all right. And then I moved it off of the highway. And again, I don't know how I did it, but I did. And then I got a post from the lettuce field and tied it together with ropes and start off when the highway patrol says you can't go there. And so after he left, then I took off. And I argued with him a little bit, you know, and he says, "No, you can't go." So then when he left, I took off, and by gosh, you know, I didn't get more than 5 miles before I saw the red light in the car, in the mirror. And he says, "Hey, I told you couldn't take it." I said, "That's a valuable piano. I don't want to leave it out in the Salinas fog." And so he says, "Oh," he waited a while, and they said, "Oh, get the hell out of here." And I went to go home. That could have been disastrous. Well, you know, I was doing 40 anywhere, or 45, and maybe a little bit more. So it gradually came to a stop, but when it hit the pavement, it was doing 45. See, on that world cruise, we would have a group of passengers that would go from San Francisco to Honolulu, and then they'd get off. And we'd have a lot of new people. That was nice. But that was the last trip that they hired anyone. I guess they used canned music. No, that was the last trip. No, I had a good group of fellows, and they just all very compatible. I was 18 on the first trip, but I was just playing in the orchestra then. That was That was 38. No, it was 33 because I missed the high school graduation. And then I missed the college graduation in 38. Well, my first answer, my mother says no. Well, I had to know very shortly because I was filling in. And I just said, no, this is an opportunity. And no, she went along with it. My dad never said anything. He just went along with whatever was happening. Well, that was around the world. That was in 38. And we got off at Port Said. And we walked off with our sun helmets. And I heard one seaman say, look at those crazy musicians. So we didn't have much of a reputation, but I had cleared with the captain. Well, I talked to the captain before we ever arrived there, and I said, we would certainly like to see the pyramids if possible. And he says, you've been a good group, you haven't caused any troubles, because they used to have troubles in ports, and then he'd have to step in. And he says, you've had a good group, and has worked out fine, so he says, you take off, but I might have to call you up to the cabin and reprimand you, but it will not mean anything. But I'll go over the loudspeaker so everybody hears it. 3 others and myself, and then we had no visas, but we were supposed to duck down in the back of the car and don't make itself visible, which we did. It was nighttime. Got somebody that would drive us to Cairo, 150 miles away. I've had a good life, very good.